Thank you for coming. Welcome to the Eviden booth. I will talk a little bit about AI. So as we see, we have plenty of use cases and we are making different types of AIs. All these corners are showing different types of AIs. And I will present you now what we do in terms of what we call trusted AI. It means for critical systems, you need to have a safe AI and an AI that can be validated. So I will insist on that because as the AI Act is coming, in 3 years, all the companies will have to be compliant to the AI Act for high-risk application. So I will explain you how we see that and how we do that in Eviden. So the use case I will show you is about detecting cracks on slippers. So slippers is this, okay? And it's high risk. Why is it high risk? Because each time if there is an accident coming from the slippers, it can be a question of death. And so if you have an AI that is making predictive classification of slippers to say if it's a good slipper or bad slipper, then you have to be able to justify this. So it's quite a complex problem because you need a lot of sensors. Because for instance, if you use only images, if it is under the ballast there, this type of cracks, you will not see it, okay? So it's very important that your perception, you have the good view of what is the state of the slippers to take the good decision. So that's what we do. And in the case of this POC, what we will do is just a small part because we don't have all the sensors on the booth. I will just show you with image what we can do. So, and why we can do that in Eviden? We can do that because we will do the both worlds of AI. You know, in the 1980s, we were having what we call expert systems. It was good because it was human readable, because it was created by humans. So it was easy to understand. But it was not so performant. You don't have the performance because it was only what can do a human. During 20s, we went to what we call machine learning and deep learning. This is very interesting because you have performance. So you can handle very complex problem with that. But the problem is that if you are just doing this approach, you are producing what we call black box. And the black box, it means that you cannot understand the way it is reasoning. And if I want to classify my crack, if I have to justify to the court why this slipper is FS1 or FS2 or FS3, I must explain and I must validate all the process that has gone to this decision. Otherwise, I cannot justify and say, okay, I was able to do it as a state of the art. Maybe we'll say, okay, your process is wrong. And if you have a black box in your process, you cannot explain your process, okay? So we used a new type of AI, which is with the AI is making machine learning, but discovering the rules automatically. And that's a revolution because we can discover the rules. So we have an expert system that has been automatically generated. That's what's the difference. And because expert systems, I say it again, are here for years, more than 40 years, but to discover an expert system automatically is what can do the AI now with the machine learning process. It means that I can work exactly like a human, okay? If I were a human expert of slippers, I'm not. I'm an expert in AI, but not in slippers. But what we do? You will go to these slippers, have a look, says, okay, here there is an alkaline reaction. Here there is a big crack. This crack is next to the screw, so it's dangerous one. Okay, so maybe it's how the expert will reason. And with this AI, we will do exactly the same. We will have a perception layer first to say what is in the pictures, and according to what is in the picture, we will have a second step, which is the reasoning. Because I discovered this expert system and my expert system has been validated by the users, I can reason and I can have the decision which is safe because it is using the knowledge of my experts. And this knowledge can be discovered through the data, but if I have some experts, for instance, that know, oh, Stefan, look, if there is a small crack like this, very close to this, I could just tell you because it is touching a steel piece of metal, it's FS1 or FS2, because you can have troubles if these steel pieces go up. Okay? So this AI in two parts is what is the difference and between many approaches that are making one step. In standard machine learning, we made just one step with starting from the image and directly to the decision. And here what we do is make first the perception and then the decision, so you can see and validate exactly the process. And this approach at the end is interesting. Why? Because you can be compliant to the AI Act. This is the main criteria of the AI Act, the main topics that you have to deal when you are dealing with AI Act. Risk management, of course, it's a question of risk. Data governance, the way the data flow is coming from the sensors to the AI, it should be secured. Security is very important. Explainability and transparency. It's what is the key of this AI. As you can see the perception layer and as you can see the reasoning, how is it reasoning, you have explainability and transparency. And of course, all is needed to have the human oversight. It means that in the AI Act, you need to have the expert validation. And if you are to have the expert validation, you must be sure that your expert is understanding what you are giving as an algorithm to be validated. So as a provider, as evident, as we are providing AI systems, we need to do some stuff to produce some reports to be justified that all these criteria are fulfilled. And the railway company, as a customer, has also part of the job. And all this process should be validated by the AI office. And there will be some certification body, like Certix, which is a certification body. They will say, okay, Mr. Evident, Mr. Customer, I can validate that, and you can go to the AI office because your process is fully compliant. Okay? Just one small demo to show you. This is the slipper. Okay, we take a picture. This is the one which is here in the corner for the one who can see. And here you see, if I may make prediction, you can see there what is saying the AI. The AI is saying there is an uncanny reaction there, and there is a crack, and the crack is 40 centimeters. You can turn your meters, okay, and check, is it 40 centimeters? What is the width of the crack? And according to the rules you have been discovering and that has been validated before, you can then have this expert system running and says, okay, it's FS2. Why is FS2? Because the width of the crack that you have measured, that you can check, is less than 0.3. And my rule says, okay, if it's less than 0.4, it's FS2 and all the conditions that are necessary for FS2. So here you have the full transparency. You can check the perception layer, like your eyes, and you can check your reasoning as you have in your brain with your rules as an expert. So the AI, the behavior of the AI is exactly like an expert, can be validated by the experts and can help the expert to be better, to have a better analysis because it can handle, of course, much more dimensions that a human brain can do it. And if you see, for just to finish, if you see at the end, with the black box approach, it's one type of approach, and there are many ways of trying to make explanations with black box approach. This is like the shape and line for those who know these methods. With the shape and line, you can have some information, but you see here it says it's a alkali reaction that is first, and that's not true. And because why we have this error, we can explain it because we have done this approach with only 38 images. And we started from the data that has been provided by the Choban. And so we are sure of what we have learned. We have not used any LLM or any information that I don't know where it is coming. So to validate my model, I'm sure of the data. I can have the rules. I can check it. I can review it. I can use the certification body to say, okay, you are compliant to sensors. All is compliant. So you can be safe and you can put this AI in production and help the business of our customers. If you want, of course, to have more details about the demos, the techniques, all is possible to see on the booth.